And we should be live. I closed out all the windows that would tell me that that's the case. Cool.
Okay, I'll let you know because I have my YouTube open. My phone just beeped, which means we're live.
Which means I need to start tweeting.
Sound off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, every fucking time without fail, I always have some form of sound on because I've got two phones.
Well, I feel like YouTube especially is just sort of like, well, you know, you've been gone for a while, so obviously you just want to have the sound on. It's like, no, I really don't. That's why I turned it off.
I don't know whether it's the settings you have on your computer, but on my screen, my camera always looks really dark. It could just be the quality of this screen. Whenever I load up the same with yours actually, you two always look quite dark. But then whenever I load up the actual stream, it's like, holy shit, I can see details.
It's like getting new glasses.
Not gonna lie, I was tempted to start Nobs' vinyl pop collection yesterday as well.
What are you talking about?
I was gonna get you Rick and Morty vinyl pops and then send them to you.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Nope.
Hey there, James. I think we're all tired. How are you?
Yes.
I'm a little drunk.
Well, there you go.
I got it. I got it with my second guess.
Yep.
I said asleep or drunk. Which one is Nobs?
I couldn't wait anymore for fucking food at that outing, man. I was fucking dying. So I had to hit some Burger King on the way home, and I'm not feeling well.
Uh-oh. Gonna get the Burger King squats?
No, just fast food icky.
God, I love Burger King.
I fucking hate Burger King. It's the worst.
This might be the worst food weekend I've had in a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I wanted to go to a clam bake this weekend, but I didn't know anyone that was having clam bakes, so I had my own, and I ate 50 clams by myself.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez.
But there were only supposed to be 50 in that bag, but there were fucking 60, and I ate every one of those little motherfuckers. All of them.
Oh, wow.
And then yesterday I think I had some packaged beef brisket, hard-boiled eggs, and pickles.
Oh, that's a dice roll on that one.
Yeah. So much for dice roll. I did it twice yesterday.
Oh, wow. We had dinosaur barbecue yesterday, which was fucking great.
What's that?
Dinosaur barbecue. It's a local...
Shit, I'm so sorry, Samson.
Oh, I thought it was like a style where it's like you just cook like the giant slab of like the Flintstones.
He's thinking of Flintstones.
Yeah.
A medieval times kind of bullshit.
There's some of the stuff you see from the paleo community is sort of like, okay, that's crazy, but I guess it's food. Sure.
No, it's like a barbecue place that's local here, and neither one of us felt like fucking cooking yesterday, so we were both like, fuck it, what can we get? So we got on Grubhub, and because Dinosaur Barbecue doesn't deliver, instead we ordered it through Grubhub, so we got it delivered. It was like a pulled pork barbecue beef like fucking sandwich for me.
Yeah.
And Jess got like corn on the cob with mashed potatoes and a bunch of other stuff that she shouldn't eat, and then immediately wanted to fall asleep.
Knobs, do you remember
Why can't you have corn on the cob?
Do you remember near the Akron-Canton area there was a barbecue joint that opened up? It was like the something pig.
It was a flying pig or something.
It was something like that. We went there for a lunch with our whole team at work, and all of us got like, you know, ribs or pulled pork or a sandwich or something. My boss goes in, he goes, "Can I get the salmon?" And even the waitress is like, dude, really? And he's like, "Yeah, it looks really good." And all of us are like, why the fuck would you go to a barbecue place that has delicious barbecue and get the salmon? I can understand if you get a salad because maybe you don't like meat, or maybe you're not don't want to get the sauce all over you. But like,
That was off 60, wasn't it?
maybe, yeah.
I know exactly where. Like, I can see it in my head. It
Yeah.
had like this weird flaming pig logo.
Yeah. Hey there, Brian B. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
So, yeah, like, so I remember I took a date to go to Bubba Q's up in Avon, which is Al Bubba Baker, former Brown, has his own little barbecue joint, and so I took her there, and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna get?" "I'm gonna get the chicken tenders." I'm like,
Get out.
"Fucking barbecue." She's like, "Well, I don't like barbecue." Then why didn't you say anything at the hour it took us to get here?
Or like when I said, "Hey, would you like to go to a barbecue place?"
Meanwhile, that fucking parking lot was just one giant puddle. I literally carried her across the entire parking lot so she didn't get her feet wet. And then she didn't want to fucking eat.
I always hate when people do that, where they're like, "Do you want to go to this place?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, we'll try it." And they get there and it's like, "Yeah, I don't really like Italian." It's like, really?
Really, like Alfonso's didn't quite give it away what we were going to have tonight?
Right.
See, I'm so English, I couldn't even think of a stereotypical name to make a joke about then. my mind just went blank. The only thing that popped into my head was Luigi's.
That would work.
It'd be like going to Olive Garden and being like, "Oh, I didn't know they served pasta." It's like, everyone does. Everyone knows that.
I've been to Olive Garden once.
Olive Garden's fine.
I think
It's not the scourge that people make it out to be. It's fine.
it has unlimited breadsticks, if I remember correctly, and bread is my favorite thing on the planet, so I'm fine with that.
There you go.
Not my favorite place.
No, I mean,
Bread
there's a million local places anywhere that's better. Is Twitch just not working? Is that what's happening?
Oh, probably. But no, for me, it's whatchamacallit. The only local places I know around here that are famous are like the Hots places, which is the places for the garbage plates, which I do.
Yeah,
love
those are. Yeah, those.
Hey,
You
Wayne,
and Donnie.
can you try Twitch for me and see if it's working?
Yeah, sure thing.
I'm not seeing
Yeah, 'cause
anything.
you and Donnie
wrong.
went to Webster Hots, didn't you? When you came in,
Yes.
a garbage plate is so good. And other than that, the only place I know is Dinosaur Barbecue.
Donnie got sick on the way home.
He gets sick because he eat too much.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question.
Because whenever I go to a garbage place or a garbage plate place, I have half of it and then save the other half because it's a fucking lot of food.
Just shove it in your hole, man. Just shove it in there.
See what happens. Yeah, it looks like it's not connecting to Twitch.
Well, here's I know
everyone,
where this
I gotta
place
take the stream
is.
down. I'll be right back. Go to lunch. Oh, we'll go to Hog Heaven because I was maybe 15 minutes away. Hog Heaven was good. They made really great barbecue. All right, Mixer Smashcast, which I guess is Hitbox now. Come on, YouTube and Twitch.
Brian B. Is that Brian Badar?
Maybe. That'd be funny. No, his was with a Y.
I still can't believe I ran into him at one of those things I was doing downtown with the.
Wasn't Back to the Future?
Yes, it was Back to the Future with the live orchestra. I ran into him there.
How the fuck
And
do you
that
remember
the
shit
girl
like
I
this,
was
Buff?
dating was friends with his brother.
Jeez.
I'm like, here, what the fuck?
All right, let's see.
Okay, we're live on Twitch.
There we go.
We just had the red light come on.
There we go. Finally. All right. Hi, everyone. We're back. And now everywhere we
hope.
want to be.
Well, do we really want to be on Twitch?
Yeah, it brings us the eyeballs.
Man, I couldn't stream to Twitch at all this week.
Finally. All right.
Xbox, to be honest, I think they must be doing some back end work on the Xbox because me and Jess have been having some fucking issues.
Jess and I.
Me and Jess have been having a fucking issues.
You're from the country that spawned a language. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. That's why my opinion matters and yours does not.
Hey, Moon, did you watch any more Rick and Morty?
I did not. I saw that you tapped out.
Yeah, I finished season 1 and I'm done.
Really?
I didn't enjoy any of that first season. I wanted to stick through the whole thing to see if there was anything redeeming, and I enjoyed none of it.
Wow, I find that surprising.
I understand why people enjoy it.
Not even like season. Oh, which one was it in season 1 with the little butter? What's my existence to serve me butter? No.
Yeah. Hey there, Dimebag. Yeah, just none of it clicked with me. Like, I was talking to hey Sacred Herb. I was talking to Newsom about it yesterday before we started recording, and that's the hard thing about comedy is either it's going to click with you and you're going to really love it, or it's just going to bounce off of you and it's not going to be something you enjoy at all.
Mm-hmm. I give you anything Joss Whedon has ever written, and
that's
Foster.
For you. Yeah. Yeah,
totally
I mean,
not for you, totally for me.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a fair shake and try out the whole first season, but
really none of that you liked.
No. I liked the second episode when he was making fun of hey Duffman, when he was making fun of Inception, and that was really about it.
Mm-hmm. I would think I've seen like 3 episodes. I still need to go back and finish the first season to figure out. I might give the first season and the first half of the second a try, but I bounced off it a lot.
I think the second season starts off hot because it picks up right at the end after they stop time, when probably one of my favorite episodes they ever did.
I forgot there was another line when there was that building covered in Morty's getting poked.
Morty's?
I liked when Rick said, "Oh, I don't know why they have to do all this. They can do the same thing with 5 Mortys and a car battery."
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, see, man, they had that callback in this last season to that particular episode.
Yeah. Alright, we'll give it a couple minutes here now that Twitch is working, and then we'll get started.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I am really surprised you bounced off of that hard.
I thought I would like it, but I don't know, none of it really. I figured that even after the first couple episodes, I figured that there would probably be 1 or 2 episodes in the first season that I would like as they sort of found their footing, which they eventually did by the end of the season, I think. But nothing about it really did it for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do we know the date for the listener episode yet? For the correspondence episode? Because I was thinking, Knobs, if you're looking for a date to do the journey, that might be the date.
We leave on the 15th of November. We come back on the 21st. So it will be for the November 19th episode. So we actually got to start recording that soon. Yeah, the weekend of the 18th and the 19th will be off then.
Cool. I can't tell if it's my internet or if it's Boston's internet that's going weird.
Probably both. You can always blame Skype. That's a safe one.
So dark though. I feel like I'm in a 21 Pilots video with all this fucking neck shade.
Hashtag neck shade.
Oh, my head. Oh, my eyeballs hurt.
Oh, hey, Knobs. Fun fact.
Go ahead.
DDP and his yoga stuff, he does wrestling moves.
Oh,
so
great. So I'm out.
It's so cheesy, it's so terrible, but it's so great at the same time.
Now stand up and diamond cutter. Bang!
The diamond cutter is an actual one.
Oh, Jesus.
Good
It's
God.
like a bridge too far.
Oh. Oh man, what was all right, so I went and saw Blade Runner last night.
Oh, how was it?
Oh wow.
Fucking solid.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That makes me actually want to see it.
I'm surprised that there are any bad reviews of that.
I mean, there hasn't been a movie that has encapsulated an atmosphere as well as this has. I keep like we were talking last night. It's like I haven't felt this engrossed in an environment, and except for Tron.
Yeah.
Original or remake? In fact, fuck it, they're both great.
Yeah, either one.
It was the remake where like the palette fit the world so well.
Yeah.
Like this felt like dirty future. Like this was fucking good. Oh
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Like, I'm a fan of the original Blade Runner. I'm not like a super fan of it or anything.
I'm not a super fan of it either. Like honestly, if I were to pitch dystopian futures, I mean I'd rather watch Soylent Green because I thought that had a better twist to it. But it's people. Spoilers. It's people.
Dude, that was on my list of movies to watch as well. God.
Shut the fuck up.
When did
It's
that get
from like
released?
1970.
1973.
If you haven't heard It's People and not associated with that movie, oh fuck, you haven't seen. God damn
I haven't
it.
seen Soylent Green, no. I knew the reference, but I haven't seen it.
This come from the guy that hasn't heard Uptown Funk. Well, I'm not surprised.
Wow, I didn't know Soylent Green was based on a book called Make Room by Harry Harrison.
All right, so next week, Baby Driver, sweet.
I'm excited to see that.
I watched whatchamacallit the other day too. The new Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, how was it?
Not awful.
That's all we can expect at this point.
I mean, it's a pretty low
Yep.
bar. I still haven't watched the fourth one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't get much lower than that one, to be
don't-
completely honest.
I haven't seen it, but they make reference to Blackbeard's sword at some point. I'm like, oh yeah, they
Wait,
did have one of
I-
these.
Was the third one the one where, like, they were in that white space and the ship was upside down? And
Yep.
God, that one was terrible.
No, they have in the third one.
Yeah, that's what
I said.
I asked. Was that the third one? Because I don't think I saw the fourth one because I tapped out halfway through the
Fourth
third
one has Penelope Cruz in it, and
Yeah, it's got that... Oh, he's Blackbeard in it. I can't remember his name, but he is incredible in that movie.
that dude's great in everything he's ever been in. But that's got to be a bad movie.
I tapped out through. Halfway
It's not
through
great.
the movie.
Dead Men Tell, like this one's got Javier Bardem. Javier.
Is he the guy from Westworld who everyone was raving about?
No, it's the guy from No Country for Old Men. The creepy
I haven't seen that, so.
dude.
He's been in everything. Let me look him up.
I'm sorry, I just love the look of exasperation on Nova's face.
All right, he was the villain in Skyfall.
Which one's Skyfall?
He's one of those
okay, now I know
ones-
who you're talking about.
Yeah,
The guy
he's
that
one of those
looked
ones
at
that's
the
been
side.
in everything.
Yeah, he is incredible in Skyfall.
I think Skyfall is the only one I haven't seen yet.
Skyfall is
That-
the best Bond movie of all time ever.
Ooh, he was in
Yes.
Collateral. I didn't know that.
100% Skyfall is the best Bond movie. The angles, the lighting, everything in that movie is fucking perfect.
Hold on, did I
Best.
see Skyfall?
I will die on that hill.
Me too.
'Cause
I
got
fucking
in that
love
argu-
me some Casino Royale, but fuck me, Skyfall is the best.
I like
I got
Casino
in that
Royale.
argument. I got in that argument with Sean last night at the movie theater.
I feel like maybe I haven't seen Skyfall. I know I've seen Casino Royale, and I like that a lot.
Giant fire in Scotland, you would know it if you've seen it.
No.
Oh, the train scene is what cemented it for me.
For me, it's the entire last act. Everything in that last act of that movie is just
It
so
builds
perfect.
up to that act, that the sniper sequence in the hotel and the elevator, and
Mm-hmm. Oh, that, speaking of lighting,
oh
that
Jesus Christ, where the guys like all lined up and that billboard's like shooting those fucking crazy lights and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I think I saw the one before that, Quantum of Solace.
Oh, not
Oh,
the best one.
yeah, that was not the best one. I forgot there was Quantum of Solace, to be honest with you.
Maybe I'm 3 movies behind then.
I try and forget Quantum of Solace because it's not great.
That's the one with Halle Berry in it, right?
No. She was in Pierce Brosnan's.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
She was in
Quantum
the
of
one with the
Solace
diamonds in
in
the face?
desert. Yeah, that dude. Looked like a Ninja Turtles villain.
Okay, so I'm like 3 movies behind. I have seen the Casino Royale. Ow.
Casino Royale is good.
Hey there, Soul Child. Thank you very much.
But no, back to Blade Runner. Blade Runner is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
See, what you said about setting the atmosphere and maintaining it, that's what makes me excited, because that's why I love the first Blade Runner.
You want to talk about fucking lighting?
Yeah.
They do a lot of aqua lights in this. Like, I don't know, that's probably not even a fucking term, but a lot of, like, Ripley water lights in the one area. You know what? And Jared Leto didn't ruin the fucking movie. So
Hey,
that's a win.
That's always a good sign.
First time for everything.
That's
Hey-o.
a win.
Hey, he didn't ruin Fight Club.
You know what was funny? We had this conversation about how much Sean hates Jared Leto. I was like, well, he wasn't bad in Fight Club. It wasn't bad in Requiem, and he wasn't bad in American Psycho. So anything Jared Leto's getting maimed in, he's all right.
Yeah, I didn't like him in Fight Club, and he's not really a character in Requiem.
He's one of the leads.
Everyone else has a much better story.
I would agree.
Yeah, I feel like he's he's in like 10% of the movie.
Not gonna lie, I did kind of like his Joker.
It's really, really bad.
I still haven't seen Suicide Squad.
It's
save yourself boobless 2.5 hours and just listen to the top 20 from 1950.
Yeah.
Or 1990. The soundtrack's like circa 1998. Like,
I knew every single song in that. That should tell you how old it is.
There we go.
Right, like it felt like they aped the soundtrack from Con Air.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It just shoehorned it right in.
Speaking of amazing movies,
I'm a bigger fan of Face Off. I'd pick Face Off over Con Air every day of the week.
so would I. But that's because you've got Nicolas Cage doing a John fucking Travolta impression. That's great.
Nuts. I still think whatchamacallit, Nick Cage's best fucking performance is in Raising Arizona. I love that guy.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Never seen that.
I liked him in Leaving Las Vegas.
I just wish I could throw stuff at you through the screen. Like, is this?
Did you see Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Fuck yes, that was a great movie.
He was good in that.
He wizards the shit out of that movie, and it's so great.
I feel like that role was written for him.
Yes. Also, Nobs, when I actually build my PC, I'll buy one of those little USB rocket launchers, and then I'll give you the access so that anytime you feel like it, you can just shoot me in the face.
I'm gonna put a big button that's
whammy.
Whammy.
All right, guys, are you ready? It's 2:30
going to home run. Whammy.
Yep, ready when you are.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Knobs.
What's up?
And Moonpier.
Howdy. Perfect timing. My cat just started scratching the door as we're starting the show. Not a peep. Now scratching.
Ah, boy. All right, let's dive right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing this past week?
All right, so let's start with Monday Night Game Night. Kind of turned into like a 2-game scenario because we couldn't tear ourselves away from the golf club to play Battlefield 1. So 3 of us played that. Jimbo Jangles and Urgent played Battlefield 1. Sounded like they were having a good time. I can't attest to that, but man, did we play some weird courses.
Yeah.
We were just diving all the way in to find the weirdest stuff we could.
Going to the deepest end of the pool.
We found this giant mushroom land. Had huge logs and stuff. Then I found the giant cactus land that was real hard. We found this crazy par 3, which was just insane, this par 3 course. So that game's got all sorts of slices for all sorts of different people.
Yeah.
The thing with the golf club, and I think as the more you play it, the more you'll find this out, is you really need to have your concentration on lockdown.
Mm.
The second you stop paying attention, that game eats you alive.
Yep. And making a reference back to last week's show here, because I have received nothing but stick from both Knobs and the community about this. When I say the phrase, I don't have the time, what I'm referring to is I don't have the time to sit down and be mentally 100% focused for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Not I don't have the time, period, to play it. It's I don't have the time or the mental capacity.
Oh my
for that.
god. There's been so much shade thrown your eye. The Eye of Sauron couldn't pull you out of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal. And not going to say, I'm probably the worst.
Yes, you are.
Just every time it's like, oh, wait, no, he's just going to sit there and play Destiny at 2 o'clock in the morning. He can't bother himself to play 9 holes. Like...
But no, I mean, yeah, golf club. Like you said, I'm getting more comfortable with it as I'm playing it. I've upgraded now to the player clubs, and I'm doing consistently okay. Like the recent tournament we had, I came third with like -9 or something.
Nice.
And I'm hitting that with the player clubs now, so I'm really pleased with the fact that I can actually hit the ball kind of accurately. Which, speaking of, thank you for the thing on the sound cue. That was the key to it.
It's an audible cue. It's this little ruffle of the shirt, and it has this little blank spot at the peak of your screen or the peak of your swing where you just start swinging back down, and it works so well.
Mm-hmm. Every time now it's rare now that I'm getting a mistiming on my shots. I still get the miss swing where it shoots off to the left or the right, but the timing is a lot easier.
Yeah, I've been getting the yips pretty hard lately. It's just been, man. Some of those courses, man, I've thrown out some big numbers on my career side where I'm doing my career seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Man, some of those, man, I just shat the bed so many times. Like I'll be going into the 4th round of the day with like a 6-stroke lead, and I will piss that away in seconds. Just in seconds on one hole. Like I'll be going like great par, get a birdie to birdie, and I'm gonna throw up a 7. I'm gonna throw up a 9er. Like, it's out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll lock it back down just to struggle to get back to even.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, I've been using the player clubs when I've been playing. Because what I'll do is I'll jump in, I'll do a round of 18, and then I'll jump out. So I'll jump in, do a round, jump out, because that's pretty much all my mind can take for the section is, okay, I've got 30 minutes, I just have to focus, and then I'm done. Kind of like what I do with the Isaac right now. And it's working out pretty well for me, but using the player clubs, like, despite being frustrating at first, I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I'm so glad I've got the Elite controller so I can do the switch of the sticks and put the skinny one on the right-hand side, because that has saved me a lot of effort, because I cannot hit a straight shot with the long sticks to save my life.
Definitely a lot of room for error with that. But yeah, I mean, even that first tournament, that could have been a whole lot worse than -34.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that last round, because I was playing in my season, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna finish this off. Where I was playing on really fast greens, so I just had to tap everything, barely, just get the line right, and it would trickle in. That with the slow greens threw my putting for a loop.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's something you have to kind of pay attention to, is when you load up those events, you have to sit there and see, are the fairways fast or are they slow? Are the greens fast or are they slow? Because if you don't pay attention to that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's a really good game. Like, it really is. And now I know we now have like 4 or 5 TVGP members in it.
But somehow we had a turn out of 10.
Yep, we get a couple of randoms in there as well, but I saw at least 6 recognizable names in there.
Yeah. I mean, for Tomsy's first run, just hopping right in, like, he didn't shoot all that bad.
No, he didn't pull a Duff Man.
No, and I don't. I think that's a record that's going to stand for the entirety of this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like just like as soon as I shot like that last round, I was like, man, I don't think a 64 is going to get it done. Like I thought she was going to catch me so easily. That last day was hard though with the wind.
Mm-hmm. And that's what cost her. That's why she eventually just missed out on the big V, is because of that wind. And I know that because I sit near her when she plays that game, so I hear the "oh come ons" and the bleeping 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 bleep 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 section of the chat as well.
It wasn't the approaches that killed me in that last round. It was my putting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not sinking putts.
Yeah, it's still something I struggle with, but I go through ebbs and flows. I will nail an 84 putt, like sink it straight in the middle, and then I'll be 6 feet away, and then I'll just miss it 5 times.
Yeah, I mean, like anywhere between, like I'm pretty money from about 8 feet in. I think I have like the distance of that stroke down pat, but once I get beyond like 8 to 20, it's a crapshoot for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more concentrating on getting the pace right. Kind of like how I try and putt in real life is just get it around the hole, clean up one little putt, and you're done.
Yeah.
Move on. Let's get to the next one.
Yeah. That's always my big thing is I'd play it the same way I play Power Star, which is I don't mind if I take an additional shot to get onto the green because I can get it as close to the pin as I humanly can, because putting is where I will suffer.
Well, that and a lot of the things was complaining. I'm getting back from Scott, not complaining so much, but I would say misunderstanding on how to swing. Like I told Tom Z, I was like, look, if you're anywhere from 10 feet out or 10 yards out, switch to the flop shot because that shot is going to check up after one hop almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
That you're able to take a half swing and get it tight to the hole and leave yourself a nice little cleanup par putt. Get up and down for par.
Yeah.
But man, like trying to stick a chip shot, I've ran them by I don't know how far, or I've had them take 2 hops and sit about 10 yards short, and I am livid.
Oh, I am incredibly frustrated because I sank a chip shot from a bunker straight into the hole, no questions asked, no issues. Didn't get my golden ferret achievement, which is to sink from a bunker, because it wasn't an official course.
Oh, bummer.
Yay.
That's a great achievement name, though.
Yeah. A normal ferret is doing it off the green. Or, well, yeah, sinking from off the green is a ferret.
Some of the... I mean, there are so many courses in this game. I mean, we played the par 7 course again last night. I hit a drive 1,333 yards.
Jeez. Have you run into a course where someone's made it where everything's larger than life and you're normal sized?
Yep. Yeah,
like
that was the Cactus course we were playing with, the giant cactus.
Yeah.
Everyone else hit through it, but of course mine hits it dead center and bounces into the water.
Go figure.
Oh, we played one that had a whole bunch of, like, every hole kind of had this weird obstacles. Like, one hole it was dumpsters, one hole was stop signs, the other ones were helicopters, and there were boats everywhere on it. Like, it was just like, it was in a desert, too. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, that game's got so much stuff going for it. And on top of everything else, it is a solid playing golf game.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is solid. Like the one fantasy course I played where you're hitting through waterfalls. One of the holes is in a cave. Like, it's bananas. It's absolutely bananas. I just like exploring what sadists are designing these courses. Because some of them are just brutal.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the really hard course because it's kind of forcing you to play way more accurately than you would normally do on the standard course. Like the course we just played for our tournament, it's literally just swing away.
Well, that, as you so eloquently phrased it, it was the only easy course.
It was. I think I found a couple easy ones after I said that. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of a jerk here, but I don't.
Yeah, you really are.
But whatever. Anyway, so I played a whole bunch more Marvel Puzzle Quest this week. I got a ton of more covers. I think I have like 3-4 stars sitting in my queue right now.
I didn't play a lot this week because I wasn't really feeling this current event.
Yeah, I hate Apocalypse.
Oh, the Apocalypse event? I figured that one out quick. Like, I don't know if I just got lucky in the first. I think I played it up to round 5, and then it got way too hard once you got up around 200.
I just sort of got tired of dealing with all of his special tiles, where it's like, you got to do this to knock out one of them, you got to do this to knock out the other, and it felt like a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of work, but it was once you got him down, he was a powder puff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once he was down, it was game. Like he didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played that. I played through 5 rounds of that, and then I finally, like last night, I'm like, I cannot do this again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so got a whole bunch of stuff there. I was the one that dropped the $50 for the extra coins, so I could buy. So you're welcome for your 3 command points.
Yep, racking them up.
Apparently, I wasn't the only one that decided to drop some money this week on it. So
there was the sale was actually working this week, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I know there was a lot of people who were having issues with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was there a sale? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't.
I'm sure
cheaper.
I'm sure it was over by the time I bought, or it just started after I bought it.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't cheaper. It was you got more stuff per tier.
Oh,
it was like 20% more, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Didn't pay attention.
Yeah,
probably should have, but whatever. I played some Lumines again, just kind of working my way through the tower again. You know, going chasing the 2.7 million or whatever I have the high score at now.
Yeah.
And lastly, this week, I played some Halo.
Yeah, I saw this. I was shocked to not receive the Sherpa summons.
Which Halo are we embarking on now?
I'm on Halo 3. I played through like 3 or 4 chapters. I just
yeah.
I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
It's never clicked with us.
No.
I liked
For all Halo fans out there, it clicks with me. Don't worry, you are represented.
I sort of liked what was the prequel one? That was the one I played.
But Reach? Fall of Reach or whatever.
I thought Reach was alright. Mostly because
Reach was good.
Master Chief wasn't in it, and I don't like Master Chief.
Spoilers, yes he was.
So where was I? So I was stuck in the area where I had to save the token black dude. I can't remember his name with the mustache.
Johnson.
Sure.
I don't think it's Commander yet.
Whatever, General Johnson. So I saved General Johnson on the damn thing, which that took me way too long because I kept dying on that one.
Well, he's Capone from Aliens, so he's awesome. The voice actor.
What?
Right.
Oh. Huh?
Keep going.
Right. So I finally got through that section. Then I was in the hangar, and it was like I felt like I was just running in circles. Like I'd go this way. Oh no, it's a dead end. Come back this way. Just fight off the horde over here, or whatever. So I finished that one. Then I'm back to the main room again. Then no, we gotta go to the barracks here. Wait, but not those barracks. You got to go to those barracks. I'm like,
it's when I look at the older Halo games, it strikes me how much the subliminal level design has come since those games, where it's like this stuff is lit up. I naturally just like a moth to the flame. I know I'm going to start wandering over that way, and a lot of the stuff from the PS2 original Xbox days don't have that. It's just sort of like,
yeah, they really don't.
So I'm in a giant room and there are 8 exits and they all look the same. Oh, whoops, they're all locked doors. It's somewhere else. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, even early 360 PS3 stuff was like that too. Like Brute Force was horrendous for that. Like, I know I'm probably the only person who played Brute Force.
Yeah.
But that was really bad for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just I said I'd get through it. I got about 2 months.
It's on your bucket list.
Literally, when I was sitting with my wife, like when we were playing something else, and she popped open her friends list and was like, "Why is Nobs playing Halo?" And I was like, "Oh, that's because he's only got like another 2 months to get through Halo 3 at least."
Time for your penance.
No, I got to get through Halo 3, ODST, and Halo 4, and then that thing is getting nuked in my microwave.
Okay. Well, if you see me on, hopefully I shouldn't be working next weekend. If you see me on, send me a message. I'll jump in.
Power you through it.
I will get.
Have to.
I still need to play them. I've
Nobs
only
wants
played
to
the
earn his
first Halo.
wings alone.
No, he doesn't.
This
Come
is
on,
my
you
cross
know
to
he
bear.
doesn't.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't have got through the Flood on 1 or 2 without Tom Gamer hopping in, because I was losing my mind.
I've always had a problem with the Flood on every single one of these games. I don't understand how people are like, yeah, the Flood are easy. There's like 400 of them, and you have a shotgun and a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't...
No, it's the worst, especially the ones that blow up and there's more Flood that flies off them. The little like natty eye looking dudes. I don't know, man. Those are just But yeah, so I played that. I didn't torture myself with Cuphead this week, so
I watched the Giant Bomb quick look at that, and they were playing some of the bosses in the second area, and I wish I had more time to play that game right now, because I would really... They're fighting a genie that looked super cool.
that whole game looks super cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's like, man, am I this crotchety old man that I can't be bothered with hard games?
No, it's like we were talking about last week. That's more like a winter game for you. You're going to sit down and you spend some time. You're going to... Because that's not a game you can... It seems to me like that's not a game that you can pick up and put down, where it's like, oh, I'll play it next week. You sort of have to keep your skills fresh, especially for those run and gun levels. Holy hell.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like this, it's crazy town.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm kind of working my way through that, and I am excited for what's coming out this week. So that's going to sneak up all my time, other than Golf Club, because Golf Club's pretty great.
Yeah. Anything else
I
you played this
don't
week?
even know.
That's it.
All right, Moon, what about you?
Okay, so for those who follow me on Twitter, get ready for the
TrueAchievements.com has said
Moonpierce has completed this game.
Should I write any of these down?
Yes, you should, because they all need to go in the show notes because you're
Pen is
obsessive
ready.
compulsive. Okay, so we'll start with first and foremost The Walking Dead Michonne.
I did not know that's how you pronounced it. I've always been curious.
Really?
Well, I don't watch the show, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Fair
only
enough.
play The Walking Dead Season 1, too, so...
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by this game. I went into it with the lowest expectations of a Telltale game I probably have ever had. It does respect to the Michonne character in the fact that she is a badass. She has always been presented as a badass who has issues, shall we say. And that is the most incredible thing about this game is... You know how to bring up 2017's Game of the Year, Prey, you know when you go in a room in that and you get paranoid about everything and you're not sure what the mind games that the game is playing? They do that in this to Michonne, where you will look around and you will see something and it's Michonne's basically having a mental breakdown and it's not really there. And it becomes...
Well, I mean, her origin story is relatively tragic.
And that's pretty much what this game is about. I believe it's her separation from a group and her story between that group and meeting up with Rick and everybody. So it's a really interesting story. It's surprisingly well told. It's only 3 chapters. So
yeah, it was like a side story on Season 2, right?
Yes.
Or Season 3?
It's a side story between Season 2 and 3, but also ties into the comic books.
Yeah, because they did that between Season 1 and 2 with those, like, 46 hours or whatever it was.
40 Days of Summer or whatever it was?
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that.
Zoe
I don't know.
Deschanel's finest movie.
Yes. But, it was a pretty good game. Like, I was surprised by how much I actually enjoyed it and started to enjoy the characters in there. Probably the most diverse cast I've ever seen in a video game. It's really well done. No. You can have 2 different people, and that's usually about as much as you get.
Yeah.
But no, it does a really good job. Now we get on to the achievement games. So, 6180 The Moon. Why is my word colleague?
6180 The Moon. Is that a song from the 50s?
It might be. It is a small indie puzzle platformer. It's really kind of interesting. The mechanic in it is you are the moon, you have to go and find the sun. That it tells a really interesting story in that sense. But the mechanic of it is there is always gravity. So when you jump off a platform, you go down, but the screen is endless. So you go down and you appear on the top.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Like an old arcade game. Like Joust.
So it's that kind of mechanic spread across probably 2 hours of gameplay, but it's actually really kind of challenging in some areas, and it tells this cute little story, and it's probably like $4. So, you know, it's well worth a nice little rink-a-dink run around space talking to Venus and stuff. Second
Destiny
achievement
3.
game. Yes, you talk to Venus. She is very...
She trying to sell you razors?
No, she's very self-obsessed. More Greek than modern day.
Right.
Second achievement game, 60-second shooter prime. I warned you last week, the madness is about to be back. The madness is back.
I mean, why would we ever be upset that Xbox Live indie games went away when we have titles like this?
Exactly. It's a twin-stick shooter, except you only play it 60 seconds at a time.
Okay, cool.
It has a very interesting, weird mechanic where it's a score-chasing game, so chase the leaderboard kind of mechanics to it. Except, as you play it, you unlock more things, so instead of starting from level 1, you start from level 5. The maximum level you can go to at the start is 5, and then that becomes endless. So it becomes really hectic, really quick, and it does a fantastic thing where if you get a chain of 50, everything blows up and it slows down time, and it gives really cool effects and things like that. It's a neat twist on the twin-sticker shooter genre. If you like twin-stick shooters, it's probably worth a go.
Twin-sticker shooters?
That reminds me, every Extend Extra Extreme is on backwards compatibility now, and I've been really trying to stop myself from playing it.
I wonder why.
It's so good.
Let's go on to the negative side of achievement games now.
Uh-oh.
ACA Neo Geo.
Which one?
Art of Fighting.
Oh.
That game has not aged well.
No.
It has not. It is very difficult to play a fighting game from that far back where the controls are nowhere near as tight as they need to be for a fighting game. It's very simple. It's very basic. Don't even buy it. Even for the achievements, it's not worth it. Avoid that game like the plague.
Yeah.
A game you do probably want to play, though, is ACA Neo Geo Metal Slug.
That game never gets old, man.
The first one?
The very first one.
I'm partial to 3, but the first one is a classic.
And it is just as crazy and bonkers as you expect. And I believe all of these games are SNK games, I think.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. SNK
but,
play more nowadays, probably.
Yeah, but I forgot how good the animation in that game was for a game that came out then.
It's still so good. It's like 25 years old. It's so good.
Yep. 1991, I believe, was the original Metal Slug.
Yeah.
And that game puts most pixel art 2D games these days to shame with the animation that they have put into that.
Unless Paul Robertson made it, and I don't know if he's working for Tribute Games anymore, but unless he makes it, then nothing's beaten some of that old Metal Slug stuff.
Yeah, I always did love the Metal Slug games. I believe I bought the Metal Slug collection when it came on the DS or something.
Yeah.
And those games are always fantastic. Still hard as anything you would believe, but still so much fun, so pretty to look at. It's got the requisite frame rate slowdown when a ton of stuff is happening at once.
Yeah, it's nice to see they kept some of that stuff.
It's so good, and I genuinely enjoyed my very quick 1000 gamer score, and that will be a game that's getting left on my console so I can play it again, because it's so cool.
It's a good co-op game, too.
Because I couldn't help myself, I played some more Rare Replay, specifically Blast Core, because it's probably one of the most underrated games from the N64's era.
Yep.
And at the same time, I realized how many twisted little secrets there are in that game.
Yes.
So I went to GameFAQs and had a huge bust of nostalgia as I started looking up FAQs, the text FAQs. They're all written on WordPad.
Yeah,
and
it's like it hasn't been upgraded to the
spreadsheets.
HTML version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so it made me think I was 15 or 16 again.
Yeah.
Seeing those GameFAQs and trying to get guides as to, you know, where is this hidden vehicle? I know it's in this level, but I don't know where it is. Let's look at this thing. It legitimately made me feel like I was a teenager again.
I still use GameFAQs a lot because YouTube is often bad for like, where do I get this specific thing in this level? Because usually it's like someone will have a video and it of course starts off with the dubstep and hey yo, what's up with your boy? Hit that like
what's going on, guys?
And then it's like 3 seconds at the end. Yeah, it's like 3 seconds at the end. Oh, it's over here. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Or it's my favorite thing where it's like, I see this a lot in like JRPGs or Destiny videos where it's like, we're gonna go find this thing, and they start walking for like 3 minutes. It's like, just fast forward it. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. If you're an achievement hunter, you already know his name, Maka. He does amazing guides for collectibles and things like that. I think his videos are some of the most well-produced achievement videos I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, Blast Core doesn't have an achievement video. Blast Core is from the N64. Blast Core is still so much fun.
Yeah.
I love that game. I'm going to talk about these two games together last. My last two. I'll let you write them down first, Boston.
Okay.
The Bunker.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Late Shift.
Late Shift.
These are two games put out by, I'm assuming, a very relatively small company called Wales Interactive, based on the fact that they have whales as in the country, not the animal.
Okay.
So
good.
I'm assuming they're based in Wales, in the United Kingdom.
Probably.
The Bunker. It is an FMV point-and-click adventure game.
Go on.
It is probably... I don't have a whole bunch of experience with point-and-click adventure games. I have zero experience with FMV games. This game is terrifying and incredible and amazing, and there is a reason why I immediately, upon beating the game, sent a message to Boston saying, add this to the Game Club list. More people need to play this game.
So this is even a horror FMV point-and-click adventure game?
Is it called The Late Shift?
I would say suspense.
No, The Bunker.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already on our Game Club list, so it'll come up here at some point.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely had a fantastic time playing that game. It amazed me how much they did with basically a steady cam and basically 2 or 3 actors. And there are some moments where you can tell it's got that B-movie quality when they close like a cupboard door and you can tell that the door is made of styrofoam, basically.
Right.
But that adds to the charm a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can't say a whole lot about it because if I say anything, it's spoilers, and I don't want to do that. So just know I heartily recommend it, and based on the fact that it's FMV and point and click, I think you two would probably actually really like it.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
I'm excited for that to come up on Game Club. Maybe that'll just be next month's game month game.
Maybe. It's worth it. And Late Shift. Late Shift is an, wait for it, FMV, choose your own adventure game.
Sold.
Oh, man.
And it's based in modern day London, England. And it's about what happens when things go wrong, or you make the wrong choices, or the right choices, as the case may be. It has some hiccups where you've probably seen it during Mass Effect and things like that. When you're playing the game, it has to pause the video for a split second while it calculates all of your choices up to that point to figure out what video it's going to play. It does that occasionally, but this is another game which what looks like with basically almost zero budget and a BMW sponsorship, they have put together a really, really cool story in modern day London, England, where you play a person who works the late shift. Okay. And again,
That's
I really
cool.
can't say a whole bunch more because it's immediately spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, FMV point and click adventure game that I genuinely loved.
Yeah.
Again, it's got 7 endings. I'm going to play it until I get all 7 endings. I have 1 so far.
FMV games are pretty great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go back and play Sewer Shark.
Yeah.
That's the thing that surprised me the most is this is HD FMV games as well. So everything just looks so awesome. Like, there is none of that old thing you used to get where you see, like, the pixelated video versions of them or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
after
not it.
Her Story, it's starting to get a resurgence.
Mm-hmm. I've seen of Her Story I really, really like, and it's a similar kind of feel for the Bunker and Late Shift. They're basically FMV stories or FMV games with 2 different story mechanics, 1 point and click and 1 choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going back and redoing Late Shift a couple of times. I would recommend, though, if you play Late Shift, go in blind, don't know anything about it, don't look at anything for it, just play through it as you naturally would, because my wife and I got completely different stories.
Oh, nice.
There was sections I experienced that she didn't, and vice versa.
A little Alpha Protocol moment in it.
Yeah.
A little bit, yes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Didn't touch Destiny or any of the other big things this week. It was mostly just chill out and play something easy for 2 hours.
Let's talk about my first game, which is a free-to-play match 3 game on mobile that isn't Marvel Puzzle Quest. I don't remember where I saw this, but I saw an advertisement for it. It's called Homescapes.
Yep, I know the one.
Yeah.
I've played this before.
Yeah, I kind of really dig this game. It's a pretty simplistic match 3, at least at the very beginning. But what I really like about it is you're playing the match 3 game to earn stars, and those stars go into you improving the house that you're living in. It's your parents' house. And you kind of get this almost like Sims feeling, where every time you complete a level, you immediately see something in the house improve, and then as you're playing these levels, more and more rooms and more of this house improves. And if it was just the match 3, it probably wouldn't be that great, but there's something about this thing where it's like, okay, now I'm going to replace all the flooring in the first floor. I just earned 2 stars, and then you pick the flooring and the whole thing just sort of waves and ripples, and everything. Of course, there's somebody starting yard work outside. Let me just close that real quick. There we go. Everything immediately improves, and it's something dumb and simple, but I kind of dig what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I feel the energy, you lose like 1 heart every time you fail a level. It only takes 20 minutes to generate another one of those hearts, and you can hold 5 at a time. So I feel like I haven't spent any money on it, obviously because I don't have any, but I feel like it's one of the few games where it doesn't punish you for losing. It's just sort of, all right, you went through your lives, come back in an hour, you'll be good.
Yeah.
So that's Homescapes. Shockingly, I played it a lot this week. The only thing I really did. I did play a little bit Destiny 2, maybe put like an hour into it. I'm honestly a little disappointed in the faction thing that happened last week. When Bungie said it's going to be a 2-week event, they actually meant you can earn tokens for a week, and then whoever wins at the end of that week, you can buy their stuff and turn in leftover tokens for the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not...
It's a week event.
Yeah, not really a 2-week event. Additionally, I was a little bit disappointed that they weren't reporting... The only time they reported on who was ahead was when someone won. I would really like to see it if they can find a way to put that either in-game or in the social space to see who's leading, because I would have known, I would have really liked my faction's gun. Maybe I need to put in more time to get more tokens for our team to win. Otherwise, it's just like, I thought I did pretty well. No, I didn't. Dead Orbit, like, doubled the second place's tokens. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, never
That's
mind.
Peter Stormare for you.
Yeah. Who can fight Peter Stormare, really?
Exactly.
So that was a little disappointing, and I'm additionally a little disappointed that they announced Iron Banner's coming back, and level advantages are disabled on that as well. Which means that the two endgame PvP events, Trials of the Nine and Iron Banner, don't have level advantages enabled. So no PvP does. That's a little disappointing, because
It kind of defeats the purpose of leveling up, doesn't it?
Well, in Destiny 1, I liked that there was normal PvP, which is everybody's, your guns matter, but you're not going to be doing a ton of damage if you're, 30 levels above somebody else.
Mm-hmm. I
liked having those two events in Destiny 1 where you got your great armor set, and you got your weapons, and you had all the stuff that was leveled up. And can you guys hear that, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Great. I'll close it here in a second. You had these events where your gear mattered, and like having your good setup that was leveled up, and it's all the stuff you were familiar with, and you could go in there feeling confident, and then someone better would quickly smack you down. I felt like there was a great place where you could be competitive, and your level did matter, and to have that pulled out of Destiny 2, I get it, because they're trying to make it easier for more people to play more stuff, but at some point it's sort of taking the teeth out of it.
Yeah.
And the first Iron Banner is only going to have armor and not weapons, so that's sort of a bit of a bummer. So who knows? I don't know. Destiny 2 is. I keep getting excited for some of the stuff that comes up, and then they come out and it's like, that's still fine, but
Yeah, interesting decisions made.
Yeah, I think it will be good for the health of the game long term, especially you'll have more people playing these events, but it's sort of a bummer as someone who liked being able to compete at that level. I wasn't very good at it, to be clear. I wasn't like MLG Pro, Destiny streamer strats or anything. You can go back and watch my streams. I was not that good. But it's just a little bit of a bummer. I finished Yakuza Kiwami. Hold on. I'm going to go close my window. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Yakuza Kiwami. I just gave a copy of that to Sean. Since I still have... the Steelbook version, so now I don't need it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that the one that's got the Steelbook that you got?
Yeah, it was just the regular vanilla version I gave him.
Alright. Hi.
Man, I gotta buy more tokens.
Alright, so I finished Yakuza Kiwami. Based on my time, I finished it a little bit under 15 hours, and that was doing absolutely zero of the side content. I talked about this a bunch on Pup yesterday, and it's sort of hard because I think as a standalone game, Kiwami is good. But I think so much of it is held back because it's a remake of a PS2 game, and the problems that I had that I talked about last week sort of continue throughout the whole time, where it's sort of like, alright, you gotta go see this person at this place. You hoof it over across town at that place. No, they're not here. They're over at this other place. Okay, cool, see you later. You hoof it over to that place. Like, it just...
So very dated.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily in a bad way, because how they present the story is still really good. The villain is fantastic. And how they explain his downfall between Zero and Kiwami is really great. The cast of characters is pretty good. It's just, I feel like finishing this has cemented my recommendation that you should play Zero first, because I think it presents its story in such a better way that by the time you finish Zero, I was invested in the characters and invested in the story, and I was excited for Kiwami because I knew that was just going to continue that story. And if I had played Kiwami without playing Zero, I might not have pulled myself all the way through it, because it sort of sags in the middle.
Yeah.
Especially where they take Majima, who was in Zero and wasn't present in, from what I understand, the first couple of Yakuza games, and they shoehorn him in a couple of places, and it's very clear where it's like, here's where we put this guy. Okay.
You guys like this guy. Let's see him, make him show up more.
Yeah, and he's clearly a fan favorite, but...
like Johnny Gat showing up everywhere?
Yeah, it's sort of like Johnny Gat, where it's like, hey guys, it's Johnny Gat. And it's like, woo, pew, 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 we do a mission. All right, see you later. It's like, I'm just back at the normal story. All right. I think Kiwami overall is good. I think Sega was right to release it at $30, because it is, even if you were to do some of the side story stuff, minor spoiler alert, all the side stories in this game turn out to be, it's a scam. Point out the scam, and they go, oh no, it's a scam, you figured it out, and then you beat up a bunch of dudes.
Oh, jeez.
You know, it's not like Zero, where it's like, hey, somebody stole my pants, can you hunt him down and bring me up my pants?
What?
Back? And it's like, hell yeah, I can. Sorry, half-naked guy. So I think Zero, enjoying Zero and enjoying how they had figured out the Yakuza formula by the time they put out Zero, helped me enjoy Kiwami so much more. And, you know, they're bringing out Yakuza 6 in March, which I'll be there day one. They're remaking Yakuza 2 and Kiwami 2. Remake all the other ones. Like, I would like to play those, but so many of those are on PS2 and PS3, which aren't consoles I'm really going to be digging out at this point to play the old infrastructure, the old controllers, you know, like, it's...
Yeah.
I will happily pay for more of those, but I think the sort of the 1-2 punch of Zero and Kiwami is pretty good, but thankfully I will have some downtime. I will have 5 months until 6 comes out, because that game looks huge and has the entirety of a Virtua Fighter game in it with multiplayer support. So, goodbye,
because
cool world. You will never see me again. And last but not least, talk about Kickstarter's latest success, Battle Chasers Nightwar, which is not a great title, because I keep thinking it sounds like an 80s cartoon. Battle Chasers Nightwar.
Sounds like some cats driving jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, an 80s cartoon or a 90s D&D campaign.
Oh, yeah. So what this is Joe Mad, the comic book artist.
Oh, why would you say that? He did...
Darksiders.
He did Darksiders.
Yeah. He decided to start a company, because apparently working on Darksiders didn't ruin his soul. I don't know why. What comics did he work on for those knobs, for those comic fans at home?
Oh, God. It was more on the Image Chris Claremont days.
So way back there.
Yeah, no, it's so... His work's so, like, definitive. I think he drew The Pit for Image. No, because that was Loeb did the Max. I don't. I mean, it's so many.
Some real classic Image stuff.
Yeah.
So
a lot of cover arts.
What they decided to do was they decided to make a JRPG.
With him doing the artwork?
Yep.
Oh, son of a... And
they made a JRPG without the BS, which is incredible. So, like, it's very much a classic JRPG. Your characters are on the left. There's 3 of them. The enemies are on the right. Everybody's got health bars. The turn order is very clear on the left, with very clear who your characters are and who the enemies are. None of your characters look like spiders, so you can usually tell which ones the enemies are. The thing that... Here's what can tell you how far JRPGs have fallen in modern day. I was excited in Battle Chasers when I got into the first battle and it didn't tutorialize how to fight.
Okay. That's a good step.
Shockingly a revelation in 2017, but it sort of understands that if you pick the fight command and it gives you 3 options, and when you hover over an option, it gives you a pop-out where it's like, this will do 85 damage and 50 bleeding damage over 3 turns. You probably know what that means.
Yep.
And when you hit somebody and it makes them bleed, it pops up bleeding. You probably know what that means too. Like, the only time it tutorializes you is for, you have an MP pool per character. As you attack in each battle, the bar grows on the end of it with something called overcharge, and you can use that instead of your MP pool to do some extra cool damage, like, as the battle progresses. And then they have a system called Burst, where everything you do in battle fills up this burst meter, and then when you have a pip of them full, you basically can do a super move.
So it's limit break.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it's a shared pool between all your characters. So it's not just like one character. You only see the limit pool or limit break for one character because they're the ones attacking. You know, I have a giant robot that heals me or punches people or shoots flames out of its arm. But, you know, he might spend the whole battle healing, but he's still building up the burst bar as well.
That's cool.
On top of that, basically what they've done is they've taken the JRPG battle system and they've made a really cool-looking overworld that almost looks like that sort of hatched style like in Nightmare Before Christmas. It has a real thick outline style. It looks really great. When you go into a dungeon, it reminds me a lot of Torchlight, oddly enough. Like,
what?
It has that same sort of isometric view. It randomizes the dungeon layout, but every time you go into a room, there's usually, instead of, you know, Torchlight and Diablo, they take like tile sets and they make rooms out of those. Basically, you're going to be encountering repeating rooms, which is fine. You're going to get different stuff in them every time. And it's basically, there's no random encounters. It's basically run into the enemy and then you start the battle. Each one of those dungeons so far has been really cool. It's been a significantly different theme. And one thing I like is you can continue going back into harder and harder versions of the dungeon. Like, you basically start in the common green dungeon and go to blue and purple. It gets harder each time. And the purple one, if you die, if your party gets wiped out in the dungeon, you get kicked out and you have to start the dungeon back over. But if you beat it, you get really, really great loot.
Interesting.
There's crafting, there's fishing, there's hunts, there's side quests, there's a bunch of towns. Like, I played a little over 15 hours this week, and I would have happily cut this episode into about 15 minutes so I can go back and play more of it.
Nice.
Neat.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's $20. To be fair, there are some bugs, especially on the PS4 version right now. So one of the biggest bugs is there's a bunch of crash bugs, which is sort of alleviated by the game auto-saving after you do nearly anything, like open something in a dungeon, or complete a battle, or pick up something on the world map. It's auto-saving all the time. One of the coolest things is, on the forums, the developers have been really proactive on all of this stuff, and you know, they said, like, they actually came out and they said, look, it didn't show up on QA or our certification layers when we were testing. It only showed up when we put the game out live. That's unacceptable. We're really sorry, and we're working on patching it right now. And they said, like, here are the 4 or 5 big sticking points you guys are running into. You know, like, it's a little too hard to level in the second half of the game, which I think I'm getting towards. Money is a little bit too rare throughout the entire game. You know, there's a bunch of stuff. And said, we're working on that right now. There's a patch coming out really soon. It's really great to see a studio get out in front of that stuff and just say, like, look, it's not perfect, but we are actually working on it right now.
It's one of the best things to hear in the past 5 years, when you've got companies who get roasted over the fire about the quote-unquote false advertising for their game and saying nothing. Yeah. And then you've got this company who are like, okay, here's where the situation is, here's X, Y, and Z, and here's what we're going to do about it. Like, that's all it takes, and all heat and all flames have gone from any argument people would have with this, because they've clarified immediately issues and what they're doing.
Well, they did something really great a couple weeks ago, too. It was like a month before the game was due. They said, hey, look, we made this game in Unity, and Unity won't let us... The version of Unity we're using won't let us put a game on the Switch. So if you backed at a level where you get a digital code for the game and you chose Switch, you go to this webpage and you can just switch to another platform.
Huh.
And you'll be able to do that for free. If you want to stay with it, we don't know when it's going to come. It will be coming out on Switch, but we don't know when. We're basically waiting for Unity to update the version so we can push the button and put it out on that platform. And that's really great, because nowadays, I feel like you're saying, Moon, a lot of companies have earned our pessimism, and it would have been like, hey guys, isn't this coming on Switch? And it's like, yes, someday. We're still working on it.
Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac is sort of your perfect example of like, yeah, man, I don't know. What, do you guys want this game? It's like, yep, yes. It would be great if you could communicate. So, Battle Chasers Nightwar, I know it is a game based on the Battle Chasers comic series that Joe Mad works on. The weird, crazy name aside, it takes Joe Mad's artwork and it puts in 1080p and it looks beautiful. Has a great soundtrack. It has brushed a lot of the BS off of the JRPG system and put in randomized dungeons, not like a roguelike, but almost like Torchlight. And it put all that stuff in a cool $20 package that came out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and it's fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
sounds good.
And I backed it 2 years ago, and it's out and it works, and it's great. So
that's good.
Yeah, I would
I don't
say
know, more Joe Mad needs to have more stuff out there anyway. So
yeah, it's a cool style. It's not a lot of stuff that we see in. So basically, like, my 3 party members are your main character, this young blonde-haired girl who has giant gauntlets that she punches people with.
Always the huge hands.
Yeah, it's great. A giant robot that almost looks like Alphonse from... he reminds me of Alphonse from...
Oh, I know the one, the animated...
Yeah. Someone will say it in chat as soon as we stop going live.
Yeah.
But his one arm turns into a flamethrower.
What, Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
the one.
Thank you. He's like real... He's much bigger, but it reminds me... His attitude sort of reminds me. But he has an arm that turns into like a rocket launcher or a Gatling gun or flamethrower, and that's cool. And then I basically have Guts as the third person in my party. And
Nice.
because I backed it, I got a recipe to create War's sword from the first Darksiders. So he's carrying that sword. I was just like, this game's great. This is awesome. So, $20. Battle Chasers Nightwar. I would almost say, if you're interested in it, wait until patch 1.03 comes out. It sounds like it's going to be coming out any day now. That should smooth over the majority of the problems, and at that point, that will be a no-brainer recommendation for me. And unless this game takes a full 180 and super poops the bed, this is going to be really high on my top 10 list this year.
Ooh,
just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So 2017 is great, and I wish I had time to play all of its offerings. But we played Game of the Year Prey, so we've got that on lock. But that's all I played this week, so let's take a break.
Cool.
Yes, let's.
I gotta be.
I closed that window, and I think they immediately stopped working.
You know, as soon as you open it, they're gonna start again.
Mm-hmm. Let's check the one next to me.
Oh man, I'm fading hard.
Yeah, I am too. It looks so bright on the camera, but it's not. Like,
yeah, that is a little terrifying. Yeah, I got a phone call from my colleague. I didn't pick her up, so I got a text message saying, "See you at 7 tomorrow." Thanks.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
See my giant paycheck with overtime. Blah-dow.
It's not that big.
See my slightly larger paycheck. Blah-dow. Hey, I have a job that
That's more
doesn't
like
pay
it.
right now, so I'm a little jealous.
You have the most important job. Teaching life new to this world.
Yeah. She started running today. She's 11 months old.
You're fucked.
Yeah. You know what's weird though? She's such a lazy eater that she doesn't really want to eat. It's driving me crazy. Like most babies, when you start giving them like real food, they're just like, yeah, this is awesome. Like we gave her chocolate for the first time last night. She ate it and she was like, nah, man, I'm good. And like we gave her refried beans because we went to a Mexican restaurant. She likes beans. She didn't like refried beans.
Okay.
And it's like, this is just beans but better. They like put lard in it and it tastes so much better. Is the sun your neighbor? Yeah, I'm in California, so basically.
Well, the son is the owner of your property is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. She doesn't like most babies at this point will want to hold the bottle themselves when you're giving them formula. Nah, she's good. She's just gonna lay there. Like
She takes after her dad.
I guess. Man. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward. Both my wife and I are not looking forward to traveling in an airplane to Philadelphia in a couple of weeks with an 11-month-old.
Told you. Second you open that window.
Yep. Fresh air. I mentioned it to my vet today. I like my vet because I'm in there a lot. Because I apparently like to adopt sick cats. She said the thing that she would always have to remind herself when traveling with a kid that was that young is you're never going to see these people again.
No.
It's like, that makes me feel better.
Buy a bulk pack of earplugs, stick them in little Ziploc bags,
start
and
tossing them.
There you go. Shut the fuck up.
My kid doesn't really cry that much, though. So, it's either going to go really well and she won't cry in the airplane, or as soon as that pressure changes, it's going to be 4.5 hours of crying. There isn't going to be a middle ground. I can feel it.
No.
Boston.
Yes, sir.
Watch season 2, episode 1. And then I think you get a fair shake of that show.
If I have the time this week, I'll do it.
So just out of curiosity, Nobs, this entire first half of the show, that's been running through your head, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Just trying to sell me on it.
Well, because I think you're missing on something that's kind of special. Because the first season's funnier after you watch the second season. And it seems like it kind of builds on itself from that point forward.
Right. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the first season feels like them figuring it out.
Because I think like a lot of the stuff with the whole thing with Bird Person and Squanchy doesn't pay off at all yet.
Yeah.
Like, especially when he has the one season where there's a whole bunch of imaginary parasites that are making these figments of their imagination. They only remember good things about him. It's such a clever episode.
Yeah.
But literally the first one where things go really sideways and how they actually present it is just by the end of the first commercial break, you're like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah. If I can find the time this week, I'll see if I can squeeze another half hour in there somewhere.
Oh, Birdman. Bird Person, I think it's called.
Yeah, Bird Person. Alright, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Yeah,
Yep.
I gotta open it up here. God, it's so bright in here.
You missed during the break where I look like I'm being burnt alive when I pull the curtains back.
Oh my God, I don't know, it's just too much beer.
It's the booze. It's 100% the booze.
It is. My head just feels like it's ratcheting itself tighter and tighter. And I just want to eat yogurt and granola right now.
That's weird.
It's what I want to eat.
Internet Explorer stopped working. Thanks.
Useful.
Close program. Well, at least because it's sandboxed now, it didn't really.
All right, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I am ready.
Ready when you are.
Are we? Are we ready to go?
Welcome to TVGP NPR.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the way my voice sounded when it was blown out.
Oh yeah. Like a husky soul singer.
I can't quite get that treble back. All right, ready?
Ready.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for October 9th, 2017. Middle-earth: Shadow of War for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I am so getting this game.
Yeah. I'm passing because of loot boxes.
I don't care. This seems like the game that I need right now. I need a third person, just bananas open world thing.
Oh boy, have we got the winter for you.
You're welcome, Assassin's Creed Origins. That's the one I'm really waiting for. I'm hoping that's not a game that has loot boxes in it, but at this point, who the hell knows?
I guarantee it's got loot boxes in it. Everything's got loot boxes in it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on, even they figured out a way to shoehorn them into shooters.
Yeah.
Loot crates. Great. Chaos Child for the Vita and PlayStation 4.
This is going to be my next visual novel play. This is made by the Science Adventure team, the peeps that made the Steins Gate games.
Ooh.
Except this time they're making a horror mystery thriller. So, yes, please.
And of course you'll play it because it's a visual novel and you can just walk away.
Yep. Just pause that thing and leave. Peace.
Yeah, the Vita's so great for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for Fandango, because I don't remember where I was with you before, but sure, it's still stasis saved.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2 for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
For the life of me, I can't remember if I played the first Evil Within.
I just deleted it off my hard drive.
I'm really excited to see where this one goes, because the people that finished the first game, the consensus seemed to be it could have been really good. It just needed, everything needed a little bit more polish. It was probably one of the first hit B games of this gen. And I feel like everything I've seen about Evil Within 2 is they took the time on this one. So I'm hoping it's really good. I won't play it because I'm a giant chicken, but we need more good horror games that aren't Outlast.
Horror
keyword being good.
On my radar at all right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and then lastly, Flame in the Flood for the Switch.
You and Scout could ride the rivers on your commute.
Yeah, no. Done. Never touching that thing ever again.
Speaking of someone else who's done, PlayStation boss Andrew House is departing Sony after 27 years.
Couldn't stick out for his golden watch, huh?
Yeah, something must have happened. I'm going to be bummed I won't see this dude on the
What's
E3.
Up, Vita?
Thank you, Duffman in chat. I'm sad I won't see this dude on the E3 stage next year, because I thought he was always cool. He always brought a touch of class. He started in Sony in 1990, which is just really crazy. Started in corporate communication and moved all the way up to SIE president and global CEO.
Well, at least you learned how to wear a sports coat without a hoodie, so that's a plus.
True.
Quick question. Did he take over just before, for the development of the PS4?
Yeah, because I think before that was Shohei Yoshida, right?
Because if I remember right,
one.
Yeah, because everyone made such a big deal about how it was basically a guy using the tech people correctly to help develop the new console.
Right.
And I think that was Andrew House who was doing it. Mm-hmm. And I did a little bit of reading on his successor. I don't like the background he has, shall we say.
John Codera, deputy president of SIE.
Mm-hmm. And he was responsible for the PlayStation Network, a lot of the stuff there.
Sure. It says here that he'll only be on for 2 months until to transition to the next president, who I don't believe has been announced yet. Welcome, Bobby Kotick. Returning to the video game industry. Loot boxes.
No, it's gonna be Peter Moore.
Yeah, that's a Peter Moore move.
That'd be great.
I'm surprised Peter Moore doesn't have loot crates like branded under himself. Like, it's no loot crate; they're PW crates or PM crates.
People blame me for burning Sega under the ground. I'm back, ready for action. Man.
Somebody's next.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to questions. The Donut Pug from Discord asks, "What are your favorite PC games?"
Oh my God, where to start?
Strap in, 30 minutes.
June 2000. That's it. All done.
There you go.
Oh man, I'd probably go back to like old seminal moments. Like the first time I played Command and Conquer was just a revelation.
For me, like
it seemed Doom for the first time on a PC was just.
See, what's so crazy about if you look at Warcraft 1 and Command and Conquer 1, Warcraft 1 was a bad game. Warcraft 2 is one of the best PC games of all time. And like so far and beyond a better game than the first one was. And then Westwood comes out with Command and Conquer 1 and they're just like, here we go, baby. Here's a game. And it's just like, oh my God.
And then they dropped Command and Conquer Red Alert and you're like, what? And then they had that crazy, like somehow they tied in World War II into the current day stuff, where Zod caps, what's his name, or oh my God, Stalin just caps Stalin at the end of the game. And it's like, this is how we start, buddy.
Yeah, it's
Let's roll. Or Kane, that was the guy's name, Kane.
Yeah.
You're talking about FMV hilarity, man.
Oh,
those were great.
Around that era, I also liked the Crusader games. It was a cool isometric exploration game that featured just a dude in red armor. They only put out 2. There was supposed to be 3. I loved those games. Was that Westwood? That might have been Origin.
I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was Interplay.
Oh, it might have been. Bullfrog made 0 bad games throughout basically the entirety of their Syndicate. I liked High Octane, that not a super popular game.
Theme Hospital.
Theme Park, Theme Hospital. Syndicate Wars.
Syndicate
the World
Wars.
Is Not Enough.
The propaganda gun.
Yeah.
The World Is Not Enough for me.
Yeah.
I think that was the name of it. Was that the name of it? The cheesy B-movie spy knockoff first-person shooters.
No One Lives Forever.
I don't know. It was one of the 2.
These all sound like James Bond titles.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. I really liked Sim Golf.
Never played it.
Build your own course and play sort of semi-golf on it. That was cool.
Semi-golf. I remember an old game called Wings of Fury, which I absolutely loved.
Yep.
I know the best PC game of all time.
Sure.
Free Cell.
Stop it.
You're
not wrong, though, but stop it.
Of course, I loved Blood back in the Build Engine days. Blood 2 is not nearly as good.
No, Blood 2 tried to... I remember that opening line, it's hotty doody time, kiddies. The bad man is here. And I'm like, oh, God, what am I doing?
What have I done?
What is...
I loved my time I spent with it. I don't require playing it anymore, but wow.
Yeah.
Painkillers right up there, dude. Dye bag.
I played WoW hardcore for a couple of years, and
same.
That game was really good.
Level 80 priest. Bad decision.
Yeah, yikes.
I tell you what, I don't know too many people that actually finished that Painkiller game, but that was fantastic from start to finish. That last level where you fight Lucifer at the end was one of the craziest boss battles I think I've ever been part of.
Yeah.
OG Max Payne.
Sure. Yeah. Never a game that clicked with me, but it was a good game.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird. That game clicked with people you never expected it to click with.
Like everyone. I mean, obviously we're skipping over the famous stuff like Duke Nukem 3D and Quake and Doom and all that. Those are games that everybody knows are good.
Yeah.
Real, like I will fight. I will die in the hill for Sin. Sin was a great game.
Yep.
That no one played.
So Sin's biggest problem is it required a big patch to fix some of the stuff. It was like 100 meg patch back in '93.
In dial-up days.
Yeah, so you had to, it was shared on a lot of CDs that came with magazines, and that was really the only way you could get it, unless you were in college and you had high-speed internet.
Yeah, you had your T1 connection, but that Sin game was so great. Those characters were awesome.
Yeah. Shogo Metal Armor Division.
Shogo.
That is a great game that really needs that's a game I would love to see get a remake, because I feel like now is a really perfect time for people to play that game. It was way ahead of its time.
So imagine Titanfall 20 years ago.
Yeah. But bigger and way longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of Front Mission.
Yeah, but you're getting in and out of your mech. Like, when you're in the mech, it controlled almost like a Zone of the Enders Titanfall game.
Yep.
When you're on ground, it was a really competent first-person shooter.
And then you had your little vehicle sections, too.
Yeah.
Like, it was bizarre, the amount of stuff in that game.
Yeah.
System Shock 2 was a classic.
Yeah. That's an all-time classic.
Oh,
Half-Life. I played Half-Life late, so I didn't quite have the Half-Life experience everyone else did.
Half-Life 2 for me, because Half-Life had the Zen stuff at the end, and it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the crouch Z jump, like in low gravity that you had no experience with up until that point.
Yep.
What was it, fighting that giant testicle at the end?
I thought it was a baby. Maybe it was both. I don't remember.
Which game had the testicle monster?
It might have been
the thing with the legs, the big testicle.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. Moon, what game were you gonna say?
Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, the old.
Yeah, all those engines. Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like all those games
2.
of that ilk. God, Fallout 2 was good.
Some of the old typing adventure games, like what was it?
The old CRS stuff.
Remember Hell, the cyberpunk thriller? I wanted that game so bad. It had Grace Jones, the Rock, not the Rock, but Rock from that one TV show with the Garbage Man. Grace Jones was in it. Dennis Hopper,
Yeah, there were so many great LucasArts and Sierra adventure games. The two of them took very different paths, but before adventure games got really bad, famously, the whole get an ID card with a mustache article that probably everybody has read at this point. God, what else?
StarCraft was great. So I spent a lot of hours on StarCraft.
StarCraft 1 and 2 are both good.
StarCraft was amazing. It really blows me mind with StarCraft because the stuff you got away with StarCraft you couldn't get away with now, because we literally used that on 13 PCs on our floor my freshman year at Youngstown State.
Yep, from
the
one
same disc. And
same
we were all
with
playing.
Diablo 1. You could pop the CD in and hit the spawn copy button or something like that in the installer, and it would just install enough of the game locally that you could play multiplayer with somebody else who had the disc.
Oh my god, we're forgetting Mech Warrior games. How way ahead of time those were. Man, there was another game that was just lost up to my head.
So much stuff. I mean, for us, growing up in the 90s, the stuff you could get on PC was leagues ahead of the NES and the Super NES and the Genesis. A lot. There's so many. The console versus PC holy wars of today exist because the delta between the two platforms is so much smaller than it was. You could look at Mega Man 1, and you can look at its contemporary was probably maybe Doom on PC. They're drastically different experiences.
Even that, they're all these guys in our room. We had our suite. Everyone's playing Halo over here, and I'm over in this corner just blasting fools at UT2K or UT99.
Yeah. Dimebag says, "Hey kids, that's where Call of Duty started." That's right. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same with Battlefield, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really outstanding. I'm sure if I could look at my PC box collection that's behind those doors over there, probably have another couple that would stand out. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that's really huge. I'm sure I'm missing like 20 to 25 games. But
oh my God, Rise of the Triad. That game was so crazy ahead of its time.
Yep.
The original Nazi shooter.
Yeah. Like Wolf 3D.
Wolfenstein, yeah.
You know, like probably at most people's first-person shooter.
All right, I'm going to throw that out there. Return to Castle Wolfenstein is hands down still one of the best shooters I've ever played.
It's a 2003 one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an incredible game. Missed by nearly everyone because the Wolfenstein games before then were bad.
Yep. And
this bright, shining pillar of quality Wolf Nazi shooting showed up for a year and then went away.
This year is still best flamethrower I've ever seen.
Yep. I haven't seen anything that's beat it.
Nope.
Moon, anything? Any other stuff from you before we scoot on?
Not that I can really think of, but that's also because I didn't have a PC for the longest time. So I was, ironically enough, stuck with the consoles. That's why things like Max Payne kind of blew me away at the time.
Right.
Because it was like I was playing, PS2, whatever. I was very late into the PC side of things. Yeah. So my first PC was the first thing I ever bought and ran on it was Dune 2000.
Yeah.
And Dune 2000 is still, in my opinion, one of the greatest RTS games of all time.
That's a great game.
Yep. Ride the worm.
I think where the delta began to shrink between PC and whatchamacallit and on home console was the advent of a quality third-person shooter, because that did not translate to PC at all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's really a controller experience. Like when Gears of War came out, it's sort of like, okay, this is different.
Well, they kind of got it right a little bit on the Dreamcast with Slave Zero. Slave Zero was like the first one that I played that actually made sense. I was like, all right, this could be a thing.
Blue Stinger before that, and it was like, this is not a good game. You tried something, but
game's weird.
Yeah,
it's not horrendous like everyone said it was, but it was weird.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next question here from T-Bomb Rocks in Discord. What's a game that you really enjoyed, but only half of the game? The first half was slow, but then the second half really opened up. For me, it was Shadow of Mordor. The first part felt somewhat generic. Then once the Nemesis system is introduced, the game became amazing. So any game, the first half wasn't good, and the second half was. I feel like often we talk about games where the first half was good, and then it sort of peters off, but I'm trying to think of a game where the... Oh, here we go. Mass Effect.
Yeah.
That first half is slow. But once you get out of the Citadel and once you start getting the lore and you start really... That game starts at a breakneck pace after that.
Yeah, because they're the same thing about Andromeda.
I'm still in the first half of that.
You know what? I would say, let's say Borderlands.
Yeah,
Borderlands didn't start off very good.
Yeah.
No, it did not.
Yeah, it takes a while before you sort of start getting the crazy guns, and you're like, oh.
What about Borderlands, the pre-sequel? Talk about a stinker for a first half of that game.
Yeah, that might be my favorite example, because it's like, okay, I'm still on this planet, and this is not fun, and I'm running out of oxygen, and then, like, once you get out of that first town, a couple hours in, it's sort of like, oh, Borderlands. All right, hey, welcome back, buddy. What else?
I think the 2009 Syndicate is the inverse of that. It starts off okay, but by the end of that game, it's so incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Now, once you mastered hacking and whatnot, Bulletstorm, I would, yeah.
Yeah, Dimebag brings up Bulletstorm. That's a good. Once
I think Bullets.
Getting like all the weapons and all your powers, and you start chaining stuff, then it starts to. It's not just a first-person shooter anymore that you can kick dudes in. It's way more.
Yeah,
I think that game's not so much as a slow. I mean, I think that's just a constant crescendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's why I think the Gears of War games are so good. Like, where Gears constantly ramps up to its madness.
Yeah.
It's paced really well, and I will say, like, what was I talking about? We were talking about the Superman Returns movie, pulling the God of War, where you open with your best scene.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like, God of War is the opposite of the Gears of War ramp, where God of War intros with a demo that's incredibly great, and then dips, and then tries to build back up, which most of the games don't.
Like God of War 2, probably one of the best openings.
Was that the Hydra fight?
No, that's one where you're fighting the Colossi.
Oh yeah.
Where you're fighting, the Colossus of whatever, Thebes or
Rhodes
whatever.
Or Thames or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Geography.
Yeah. The Colossus of Geauga County.
Yeah. But no, that fight was amazing and nothing lived up to it. Same thing with God of War 3. That fight against Poseidon was the coolest thing in that game.
Yeah.
Nothing beyond that could top it.
Yeah. Dimebag in chat brings up a great one, Kingdom Hearts 2, where it dips really low in the first half of that game until it decides to take the training wheels off.
Most JRPGs do that, like Last Odyssey.
Yeah, Lost Odyssey. Yeah, that took a while. Final Fantasy VII is actually.
I think that's got a really good first half, and then the second, I'd say probably after the golden. What is it? The Golden Circle?
The Golden Saucer.
The Golden Saucer. I'd say after that point, it lost me so hard.
Final Fantasy VII is the inverse of his question here, because Midgar is such a great experience, and then the dip it has after that is really rough. And I'm trying to think of a Final Fantasy game that the first half was pretty slow and the second half is really good. Maybe 5? I don't know. Usually those are pretty constant throughout them. I feel like a lot of games don't have this problem, or if they do, they have the inverse of the question, where, like, you look at Red Dead Redemption as a great example of, like, the first half of this game is really great, and then, like, he's looking for the
I think Red Dead is a prime example of incredible, bad, incredible.
Yeah.
Because the ending of that game, I don't think I've probably never played a game that I feel ended as strongly as that game did.
Oh, I think GTA 5 ended pretty hard.
Yeah,
it did.
I was actually going to say GTA 5, but they did a really great job of pushing you through the intro, because the characters are great and the stuff you do immediately is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that opening heist was amazing. It was like right out of Fargo. Like, it just seemed like it had such a great setting.
Yeah.
But I thought the to that game, to GTA 5's strength was it made me care about a character I never thought I was going to care about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And actually making him to be the most likable character in that game.
All right, let's move on to our next question here. 5 of 9 asks a question in Discord. Hey fellas, long-time lurker, first time asking a question. Are there any games you come back to play or are currently playing that you do not discuss on the show? Thank you for all the entertainment you've provided all these years. Keep up the great work.
Yes.
Yeah. For Moon and I, Binding of Isaac has its own show because we play it every single day.
Yep.
For me, it's Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. We talk about that a little bit on Pup, but it's to the point, we're getting to that point in Marvel Puzzle Quest where the stuff we're talking about is almost inside baseball new events. So neither of you guys are playing or are going to play that game, so it's not really interesting to talk about it. It's not like Left 4 Dead when we talk about it, Left 4 Dead 2 when we talk on the show, because there's always an interesting story that comes out of a Left 4 Dead 2 match. Brave Exvius is sort of like, I played more of an RPG. It's still good.
Yeah.
So, That's probably my biggest one, and Isaac, of course.
I mean, I still play tons of games. Like, I play Warframe pretty much every day as well, but I'd run in, do one mission, and run out.
Yeah.
Same with Fortnite, you know. But if I've got nothing new to add, I'm not going to bring them up. I play Fallout Shelter every day still as well, but that's just to log in, collect all my stuff, send people on new missions.
Yeah. I mean, pretty quickly, I'm going to stop talking about Destiny 2 because at this point they're getting to the Luminous. There you go. You know, Destiny 2 is getting to the point where it's the amount of content and the stuff that's going to be coming in is going to be Iron Banner's coming back. You know, this Faction War's coming back. There's a PvP event. You know, it's stuff that you care about if you're playing the game, but it's not new stuff. I'll be talking about Destiny 2 again when the expansion comes out, but that's, you know, I played Destiny 1 for almost every day of its entire life for 3 years. So, like, and I didn't talk about that every week.
Yeah.
God, the number of angry emails we would have gotten.
I don't know. We were pretty close to Borderlands there for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. You know, he nailed it on the head for me. Like, I played Luminous every day.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many great games that are on Vita or on mobile or stuff like that. Like, I play that Homescapes game every day. But this is the only time I'm going to talk about it, because, hey, there's more Match 3 stuff. My house looks great. You know, that's my update ever since then. There are other games I'd rather talk about Battle Chasers Nightwar with my time. You know, and I don't want the show to be 2 hours every week. As I say, we're recording at 2 hours.
Yep.
Crap. $10 or $5 patrons this week will get a great episode. But yeah, there's a bunch of games we play that you probably don't want to hear us talk about week after week, even though we're still having fun. And at some point, Marvel Puzzle Quest will probably be at that point. Yak in chat says Picross. Yeah, man, I'm looking for another really great pick. All right, so let's talk about Picross games on mobile.
Okay.
I hate it when Picross or these nonogram games tell me what the picture is going to be before I draw it. That ruins the purpose. Just say it's puzzle 5 and I draw it and it's a house. Hey, cool, I made a house. That was fun. Like, don't. Otherwise, I'm gonna guess. Spoilers. And that's the point of Picross and nonogram games is not to guess, and you're going to guess if you know what the picture is.
Yeah.
Bummer. All right, next question from Maximus Prime on Discord. What was the last game you bought that had amazing review scores, but you couldn't stand the game personally? If this has happened, what game have you loved that reviewed horribly? So he's sort of asking both. I'm trying to think. We always talk about GTA 4, but I'm trying to think of anything recently that we've picked up that has done. It's either reviewed well and we hated it, or we loved it and it reviewed poorly.
Did Battlefront review well?
No.
Yeah, I think it got 7s and stuff, but I don't think it was like Battlefield 4 was just like, you get this game! Titanfall 2 reviewed well.
Yeah, but that was a great game.
Yeah, I will never not say that game wasn't great.
No, I was thinking of Titanfall 1 didn't review well, but was a good game. Titanfall 2 was a good game and reviewed well.
I'm trying to think of one. I mean,
I don't even know how Prey was received, to be completely honest.
Pretty well, actually.
Pretty well, yeah.
Let me fire up OpenCritic for some of this stuff. OpenCritic.com for anyone curious. It's better than Metacritic. Prey has an 81 overall, so that's good.
Man.
Can't think of anything this year. I haven't played a ton of stuff this year.
I mean, there's Resident Evil 7, but that got rave reviews as well.
Yep. Yakuza 0 got really great reviews.
I don't know. What about what's our favorite game? Gosh.
Nier Automata got great reviews.
Yeah,
Mass Effect Andromeda. There we go.
Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, both of you guys really liked Mass Effect Andromeda, and reviews were all over the place.
I thought that was a good game. I thought that was a solid Mass Effect game.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I would say games that reviewed horrible. I'm trying, Noi. Don't just
Oh, Neo is not really a game that's... Neo is a winter game for you.
That's a hard game for me right now.
Yeah, you gotta put... that's another game you gotta, like, sit down and put some time in with.
I would say a game that reviewed horribly that I absolutely loved was Nano Breaker on a PlayStation 2.
Yep.
And Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I still think that game is one of my favorite Castlevania games by far.
Yeah. Didn't
Star Wars Battlefront for you, Moon.
Oh yeah, I love that game. But that said, I think I said it when I first started talking about it on the show. I also have all the DLC and didn't play it for until the content had been updated, basically.
Sure. Shadow Warrior. That's a game you love that got fine reviews. There were 6s and 7s.
Yep.
Didn't Gears of 4 do just above middling as well? Wasn't Gears 4 like a 6 and a 7?
Look. Gears of War 4. 83.
Oh.
That's higher than I
than
thought.
I expected.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a lot lower. Because it seemed like a lot of people were sort of sick of Gears.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really good.
Transformer games for me.
Yeah, a lot of the Transformers games have been pretty good, but just not gotten great reviews.
I'm just trying to think of stuff I've played. Like, my memory's just so shot right now, I can't even remember that.
Yeah, I'm going through some of our previous stuff here. Assassin's
All
Creed.
right, I'll get a game that got reviewed well. I think quickly is Mark of Cree.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Boston just brought up two excellent examples: Syndicate and
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yep, Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Assassin's Creed whatever the one before it was called.
Unity.
Yeah.
Yes. Unity got bombed into the ground with reviews, and I absolutely adored it. Syndicate got really quite high reviews, and I absolutely hated it.
Moon, what about The Division? You liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot, but I think the reviews at the time were correct.
Ooh,
Yeah.
It was a really good game with very little end game.
Yeah.
Oh, the second Homefront game. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
liked
There you
that
go.
game.
What did that
The game.
get?
I mean, the game was fine.
Like
But I think
fives.
they think bombed.
Homefront: The Revolution. 48.
Oh.
The little cartoon guy here has flies coming off of him, and it says weak. 3% of critics recommended this game.
That game did not deserve that.
No.
It was fine. 0 reviews, scoring 85 or higher. Wow. That, to me, Homefront Revolution is a B game for this generation. It's fine. It doesn't do anything great.
There's a great game that reviewed well that I absolutely did not enjoy.
Dishonored.
Dishonored.
Yeah. I really feel like I have to give those games another shot because I loved Prey. I feel like I'll get them now.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Like, I absolutely adored the first Dishonored a lot.
Yeah. I feel like I'll understand them now, but also, where the hell am I going to find the time?
Yeah, they are long games, if I'm completely honest.
All right, our last question here is from Adderblack39 on Twitter. A simple question of, what's your idea of gaming bliss?
It fluctuates depending on my mood. That's the problem. Depending on the type of day I've had, gaming bliss to me is sitting there with my headphones on, the volume turned high, playing a really immersive single-player game, or it can literally be sitting there with my wife playing FIFA and, celebrating every time we score to the random craziness which can be in a Monday night game night, and taking everybody's dog tags and then making special little videos just for them. It changes so much.
Yeah.
And I'm the troll.
Yeah. I think for me, Battle Chasers Nightwar has reminded me how much if I can find the time to just sit down and grind in a JRPG and sort of turn your brain off and just enjoy the graphics and the music and a dungeon, like that to me is just, that's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I would say, and I think I talked about this last night with Sean about gaming bliss is when you're playing a game like Ninja Gaiden on the highest difficulty and just you end up surrounded by enemies and you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
Or you're just laying off crazy special moves. You're doing, the air pile driver throw, like everything at will, parrying every blow.
Like your level of competency has hit its peak.
Right, where you have that skill set, where everything's firing on all cylinders, and you literally feel untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the zone.
Right, same thing. Like Ace Combat was notorious for that, where you have that moment where you're in 100% control of that plane, and you're able to fly through buildings, under bridges, and you're like, nothing is a threat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. That's sort of why I like roguelikes in general, because I feel like once on the Binding of Moonpiercer show, we talk a lot about the flow chart, where like what items are going to do with each other, what bosses do, what room hazards are. Like you have the basics mapped in your head. And I feel like with some roguelikes like that, once you have that flow chart down, you can sort of stop thinking actively about it and sort of start using it as a comfort game, like Moon and I do with Binding of Isaac a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, apparently, it's just all about comfort food. And for me, also, I don't have time to play them anymore, but like I would love if I still had time to play Rock Band, because that was a lot of like, I'm just going to hit randomize all songs, and I'm just going to sit here for an hour and just play a bunch of stuff, and then I'll be done. I had some fun.
Yeah. The same way about Amplitude and Frequency, man.
Yep.
Like when you're in the zone, and those games are so satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good question. They're all great questions, but we're out of them for this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. Join the Discord server. That link and all the other links are on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join us for our game nights, Monday night, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One. It could be anything at this point, so open to suggestions and make sure we all have the game too. So we'll see how the mood carries us. Yeah. Tuesday's Destiny night on both platforms. Yep. And Thursday Steam game night, and Friday through the weekend is kind of whatever. Our TVGP Springs Golf Club starts new round starting tonight, or Sunday night, yesterday, whenever. This time thing doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, six days to get 4 rounds in. Awesome game. I think we're playing the Warrior course this week, and it's a good one.
Yeah. Don't forget the Game Club Game of the Month. Game is Abzu, which is a thing I need to start and finish soon. You can watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network, That Video Game Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to both places. It will let you know when we go live. And Patreon, patreon.com/E1M1. I think we might have dipped under our first goal because some people removed their pledges. So let's push us back above that goal and make the hosting, cut the hosting even every month. Patreon.com/E1M1, and you get some cool extra background stuff. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you all next week.
I'm on Discord.
See ya.
All right, Moon.
Just don't look at it.
Titles.
Giant Cactus Land, The Sherpa Summons, Who Can Fight Peter Stormare, spoiler alert, it's a scam, and oh boy do we have a winter for you.
I have Giant Cactus Land, and oh boy we got a winter for you. I kind of like Giant Cactus Land because it sounds like a Mario level.
Oh yeah.
And the other one's too long, as much as I like it.
That's if it wasn't that length, I think it would be a good one.
Yeah. All right, let's do Giant Cactus Land because I'm tired and I want to be done.
Ditto.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 520 for October 8th, 2017. Giant Cactus Land.
Pass the butter.
It's all pink and spiky.
Have you met a cactus?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to come to my backyard and take out the cacti I have back there?
No.
Yeah, I figured. All right.
Depends on what kind of cactus it is. I'll take it.
I don't know. It's the devil. Whoever knows what it is. All right. See you everyone next week. Bye.